All right, full build video. We're gonna build a 2-quart canteen cover. I built one, I don't know, 5-6 months ago. I really thought I had patterns and cut lists for it, and I couldn't find any of those. So I have kind of reverse engineered this here, and we will see if this comes out right or not. I'm gonna line it with green inside, woodland outside, and I'll show you what I'm doing here. If you have a pattern or you've already traced one of your pieces of material and you just need a second liner piece, you don't have to cut the whole thing out, right? What you can do is just take the piece that you know is correct and just sew it onto a rectangle and then just trim it. That way you don't have to worry about getting them both to line up perfectly from the start. Also, if you have a piece of material that you know you've got it where you want it and you need to transfer that onto a piece of material to make a pattern, you can sew a couple, 2, 3 even pieces of cordura together, making it stiff, and that will give you a much cleaner edge to trace onto your final pattern that you're going to actually cut out. I know a lot of you guys have lasers and stuff, so you don't have to make patterns. Joke's going to be on you guys when society collapses, though. You'll see. Mark my words. And then here, when I'm doing radiuses or anything, this one's a 1 inch, 1 inch. I just made my marks. I'll take the cone and set it on the marks and then make it, and then that way all of my radiuses are the same. So you can do 1 1/4, 1 1/2, whatever, but to make that round, I just use the cone, and if I use the cone on everything, it's always the same on every side. So keep that in mind. These I'm just backing up to give it some structure, give it some rigidity. Cut the thread. This is a new, different machine than what I've been using. And for some reason, when it gets zipping, it cuts. It's got a burr in there somewhere. Back piece, front piece, same pattern. Say on your current meal planning, after 6 o'clock you can eat anything you want until 8 o'clock?
No.
I'm pretty sure you said that.
I did not.
I heard that's what it said. So this is going to be 2 pieces, but instead of having to cut 2 pieces, I just made it 6 inches. I'm just going to fold it in half. Depending on patterning and, you know, leftover scraps and stuff, maybe you want to do 2 3-inch pieces instead of a 6. I'm intentionally doing it this way because I want a cleaner piece that I'm going to sew to, and I don't want to have to hem this and sew through an extra 2 layers. Now that these are together, I'm just going to dock these corners, cut these radiuses here. probably do this bigger being 2 quart, but we'll see what this does. Half the time I'll go back to some of these patterns from 10, 20 years ago and be like, why did we do this way? And I really don't know why some of this stuff was done the way it was done back then. It was just how everybody did it. And I think these are 2 inches, so, oh man, broke my lead. I wonder how long ago lead was actually in pencils. Well, I guess like there's lead pencils still for artwork stuff, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't actually lead though.
Because like kids' pencils aren't lead.
No, I would assume like graphite.
Yeah, that's what I'd always heard. Who knows? So I'm boxing this lid here, and this is what I'm building right here. Here's what I made. Actually, I literally just made this also. But to box this, to get this lid boxed and have that cup over the canteen, like on a 2 quart does, we used to fold this and then set that there and try to catch all this at once, which you can do. But especially when you're learning to do that, why would you do that? Why not just fold these and tack it first? And you can make marks on the back side if you wanted to. I've got them inside here, but I'm just gonna zip this down these lines here, 2 inches, and then tack those down so you don't have to try to hold it all while you're learning to sew and stuff at the same time. So that might be a little tip for you there. Might be of value to somebody. So just tack those. And then the other question too, like when I'm revisiting this pouch, where we built thousands of these. We did 2 quarts with a flat pocket on the front, with 440 mic on the front, and then a smoke. And we made these left and right. So the other question is, now that we're redoing these, do we still make them left and right, or do we just open both ends so that you only have 1 part number? On the other hand, guys will run 2 quarts and use them for other stuff. Maybe we want it more contained so that it can also be a utility pocket. So, but the other question revisiting this is, we always did these like this, and the reason we did them like this is because that's how the 2 quarts were. The surplus, like the issue ones, were like that. Well, why did we do that? I don't know why. Ounces equals pounds, and we can cut this off and remove weight. We can shave a lot of weight from places, and there really is not an answer as to why we did it in that manner. So when you're building your own gear, you can do it however you want it done. So I'm going to get that in place, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave these ones on here, but it'll give it, because it gives it a little more, it gives it some structure to it, gives it some shape. And on the original ones we did, I had a piece of scuba webbing inside here, just because it held it rigid, and then it pulled this to cup over. But it's not necessary, it doesn't need it. Amanda was looking for, because I'll look for something and I'm like, hey, come see if you can find this, and she'll almost always find it when I can't. And she was looking for this pattern set and couldn't find it also, but she said she did find the cut list and the math for our old ruck modifications. We used to do a rucksack mod, which we're about to bring out a rucksack probably. I should probably not have said that. Go ahead and figure out, what is this? 1 1/4 down. 1 1/4, get her down. Now there's guys that are cutting all this out of laminate with a laser, so you don't have to sew all this webbing on, which again also cuts weight. But they're doing that at Hypalon and all kinds of different stuff now. So there's companies that will even sew you a back piece, and then you'll just sew that on here and not have to do any of this anymore, which saves a little weight here and there. It will. Huh?
I like the look of this thing.
You do?
Yeah.
I like the look of the other, where it's laser cut, simply because you can put like red Velcro behind it, and it looks bad. It'll pop, you know?
That,
Yeah, for
There's just something about it.
for like lifestyle gear.
Yeah. This just always looks very old and like tactical for me. Like when I see it, I'm like, oh, that was used or something, you know?
Man, Jeff brought in some Korea gear the other day. It's pretty badass. Still fully functional. But a lot of guys can't do this. Like, this is very lacking in a lot of guys. With no shift, theirs will be all wavy all over the place. There were companies spending fucking millions of dollars having clamps and automated machines and shit made that would do this on an automated machine. You see them for sale now. A lot of that equipment's just out there doing nothing. A little bit of shift there. See how it bowed up? These are my favorite scissors and they're trash, man. You cannot get these anymore. They still sell them. You can buy the exact same one off Amazon and Walmart, but they don't send you the same thing. They've just changed. All right, where was that at? Right here. I really don't know why I even take this apart. This is just a prototype sample, but we'll go ahead and fix it. It'll eat at me at 3 in the morning. I'll be like,
hold on,
I gotta go fix that. This foot right here has a split in it, so you don't have to push the needle through the hole, which makes it much easier to thread, but I am not used to that. It comes out of there all the time, man, and it is bothering me. Little $3 part.
It's always the damn $3.
It's got my whole mojo thrown off. My mojo. All right, that's the back. This will be, this was 22 inches, I think is what I did this at. We know that goes there, so we're gonna go ahead and, which one is this? No, because I need to edge tape that first, and then I'm gonna top stitch that, okay. We're gonna go ahead and put this in here and then top stitch it. So this is that clean seam I was talking about. So this is going to be the front, so I'm going to do the clean seam against this back here. And I know this is going to be too long. I don't know how long, so I'll show you here in a second what we're going to do. I'm not the math guy, so I don't know how to figure out the allotment for the radius. While you guys were doing all that algebra and stuff in high school, I was banging the super hot, really good math chick. So I didn't learn the math, but
you did the math.
I'll show you how to not have to have the mouth. And the answer is this. Here's the answer to how to do it without the algebra. I know that that was 22 inches. I know that this is 1.5 inches. So I know that off of 22 inches, I'm simply going to remove 1.5 inches from the pattern now. And boom, there it is. Oop, there it is. Tag team, back again. What's that? Who's that group? Back again. Okay, so yes, that's a raw edge, not a problem. Now I'm going to come across this from the top and I'm just going to top stitch this, which is going to make it nice and clean. This is also how I do those war bags, the 3-mag and 4-mag war bag. That's why it looks so clean from the top. And if you're doing contrast thread in here, this is a really nice, easy way. If you just do it a couple of stitches at a time, it'll make that radius right there nice and clean. And if you were doing like a black bag with red thread on it or pink thread, it would really pop. And you can get it nice and clean right there, just like this. And that's just that's that top stitch.
Oop, there it is, was done by a group called Tag Team.
Tag Team, back again.
Yeah.
Oop, there it is,
I
right?
guess the lyrics were telling us who it was.
Salt and Pepper. Remember them?
Yeah. The girl group?
Yeah, one of them would come and pick their niece up from my high school a couple times a year in a limo. That's the fastest thing that'll ruin your scissors. Yep, it did too. It just had a little glitch in there. People put their pull tabs on backwards all the time too. I don't know why the fuck they do it. This goes like this, guys. This buckle here, this goes here. Here's why it goes here. Because it catches and you can still grab it when it's here. So all you dumbasses that are putting your fucking tabs this way, why are you doing that? Like I see like real companies do that. I swear to God they do it so that they can, they'll do a product that's like identical to some other company's product and then they'll do the pull tab backwards.
You're like, that's ours.
That's ours. We invented
Copyright.
that. Yeah, I don't know why they do it. I saw it today. Like I saw some company today, I was looking at something popped up on Instagram or something. I'm like, why do they have that pull tab backwards? Like that's a pretty legit company too. I don't know. Maybe one of those companies will, what do they call it? Snapback?
Yeah.
Blast back? When they reply? Maybe we'll start a Twitter battle about backwards pull tabs. Clap back. Clap back. We're gonna have to have an internet rap beef. No, I mean I'd have 50 Cent do my raps. And lyric. Who's that little white kid? Did all the drill music. He was like 8 years old or whatever. You don't know what I'm talking about? Now I'm a little long here, so I'm kind of pushing back a little bit just a little bit every couple inches, and that'll take that out of there. I'll actually end up trimming just a little bit off on the when I do the final patterns. We have our padded suspender set and belts coming out. We've been putting videos up of it for the last couple weeks, and some of the comments I've seen over and over, are you going to do 2 quarts? Well, we've always done 2 quarts. We just stopped doing them for a long time. But I thought that'd be a good time. We have been filming all day long. We have filmed, I don't know, 15 so videos, but I just thought this was a good opportunity to film one last piece here, and we'll get it working. We'll probably do a much cleaner version of this and show you how we build the 3 different versions of it at some point, but this will get me this for this evening. I do a live every night, and this will just have 2 of these on the rig to be able to show. So that's that. That's the container. I'm about to edge tape it here. This is the pouch. We will put a grommet in here. And then the question arises, do we put Velcro in here so that you could use this for other things? For instance, I'll bet we could get 3 mags across the footprint of this. Maybe that's pushing it. But that would allow you to put Velcro card in here, put a mesh pocket, and still put mags forward, just to be able to use this for a lot of other things if you wanted to. We'll probably do that in the final version. I'm going to edge tape this, and then put this on here. And you'll see that in just a minute. And I'm hungry.
Did you eat today?
Yeah, you saw me eat. And then Sky made breakfast this morning. I had like a giant pancake and fried eggs and bacon. But I haven't, like normally I've eaten like 4 or 5 times already.
I had 2 bags of beef jerky.
Because you're on the
Diet.
concentration camp diet, I haven't eaten either today. By proxy, I am also starving myself.
It's crazy because I haven't wanted donuts in a while, and this morning that's all I cared about. And I can't have them.
Your boy said, Brandon's like, hey, I'm stopping to get donuts for everybody. And I'm like, oh, cool. And he brings in a box of donuts, and I open it up, and there's only a half a box of donuts. I go, where's all the donuts at? Did you eat them all? He's like, no, these are them. I've never like gone to a donut shop and got like a half a box of donuts.
Yeah.
I've never seen that. I didn't even know you could do it.
Plus, he doesn't buy like 48 donuts if you're going.
The donut guys love me. If I ever go to a donut, if it's a donut shop that's like local, I always give them a huge tip. And then they're like, oh, take another 200 donuts with you. There's that bulk, that's 6 layers of material through there. I don't know why I leave that there. I messed that up. I should have edge taped that first. Okay, we'll fix it. Good thing I didn't top stitch that side. Well, if I top stitched it, we wouldn't have to edge tape it. But you can't top stitch it. You can only top stitch one side because that's already closed. That's why we're edge taping this. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna hem it and then sew the hemmed side onto the edge tape side. if we can get through this without sutures. Okay. All right. Edge tape, that's a single line over that pal, so we're going to tack that back in because we don't want it busting through and freeing that edge tape ever. Not that it would, but these do carry a lot of weight. And you'll see guys, in 2 quarts, I've seen guys put belted ammo in there, so there's always weight, or use it for frags or 40 mic, all kinds of stuff that's weight. So here's the turbo whining, spinning on that. This machine does have a whine.
Feels like,
yeah. That's why my body fat's so low.
this is the only place you sew.
I actually turn all the heat on when I'm in the other side of the building to replicate the 110 degrees, of which it is right here.
Put a couple space heaters around.
Dude, I'll bet you it's hotter than 110 in here right now. Maybe not. You've got that air on over there. Ooh, that's not good. What's going on here? So when you don't snap that tail and you have 2 tails, it'll inevitably try to pick up the one you don't want it to, and it'll do stuff like that. That's all we do. Now, this one I am going to hem to conceal that edge. And I'm not sure that this is how we'll do it on the final one, but I think this is how we'll probably end up doing it. I'll actually add some allowance into the pattern so that any of our production people can just hem this without having to make a super small hem. We'll actually, this is about 1/4, we'll probably make it a 1/2 inch. So they've got they've got some allowance in there. It's a little more forgiving. And being that it's a 1 quart, it doesn't matter. It's not gonna matter if it's super snug or not. I was thinking, because we did one that had 440 mic on the face, and then when I was just holding it, I was thinking, because you can get 440 on the face, I was thinking, man, why don't we put 40 mic on the sides and the bottom also, and then you could use them or not use them, but that would give you 7 40 mic on that thing. I don't know. What do you think, young Brandel?
I think 7's better than 3.
Do you know what 40 mic is?
Nope.
One more than 39.
I'm thinking it's some kind of flashbang or...
Yeah, it's actually a 40 millimeter grenade. And there's that stretch I forgot about. Now I've got an extra ½ inch here. Let me start pushing this back in here a little bit so that it doesn't hang over as much. Get rid of some of this material bulk here. You won't see it, but that way I don't have it hanging over and it clocks the same. Do not run your needle into that screwdriver blade. There we go. So zoom in right here, you can see what I'm talking about, how you got this little pucker here. But once this pouch is out, you'll never see it, you won't notice it at all. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm telling you if you get way through a build and you've stretched or pulled, because I was really pulling the materials I was going, that's a way that you can do it without having to cut your whole project back apart. Okay, so there's that. I guess we should probably make sure it holds the thing. There's that. That's how that's gonna go. We could definitely even take an inch out of this pattern. So there's that. Now I'm going to edge tape this and then we're gonna put that lid on and then we're set. Now, this will hold the 2 quart perfectly, but we have this real estate on the front, and the question is, what do we want to put on there and what do we want to put out? So, at the minimum, we can put a flat pocket on the face, which is one of the options we had before. Guys will put camo compacts in there or lensatic, like Ranger compasses, Silver Rangers, any of the flat with the mirror, or water tabs and stuff in there. I'll just make this meet in the back here. Get that through, there we go. Will you be breaking into any churches this weekend?
No.
I know how you like to worship on your own in private.
Yeah.
No sense in breaking that stitch line. Take that off and go ahead and put the second line in here. How do we move that 100-foot helicopter fuselage 1,000 miles?
100 foot of chain.
It's gonna have to come down the interstate.
My dad will make it happen.
We're gonna need more than 100 foot of chain. We're gonna need a crane probably too.
But do you have those semis that carry like airplane wings and like the wind?
Yeah, the turbine blades. All right, let's stitch this first because we know that's going to go there. And then we'll come back and catch the other side from the inside, I think. This table does not match up, so it goes high, now it's stuck. There we go. I just sewed through all of it. No, there it is. You ever seen the Olympic, the toboggan?
Yes.
I saw something that's like, how do you find out you're good at that? where do you practice that at? Yeah, where do you? Because every country has a bobsled team.
Yeah.
Like what happened that morning when you woke up? You're like, I think I'm gonna try bobsledding.
I think it's like swimming. You can't be a professional diver unless you're a rich kid going to a school that has a diving team.
Is that the deal?
Yeah. You gotta know somebody that knows somebody that already has a bobsled.
The bobsled, I would think, is the easy part.
The ice course.
Yeah. I mean, they got those mountain bobsleds kind of, in Gatlinburg and stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't see any, I didn't hear any Tennessee accents.
Alpine coasters.
Yeah. And I suspect that we probably won't even catch. I don't think I did on this one. No, I didn't. So I didn't connect that top piece, and the reason is it will allow this to flap easier. You won't have to fold it back. So I think that we probably won't put that on there. But there's that. This is going to cup that. Having that box like such will allow you to use this for other things and still keep whatever you want captive inside there. I did forget the buckle. I'll be right back. At least he's probably not sexting with your stepmom or your mom so that he's not accidentally sending you the wrong text.
That's very true.
At least that's probably not happening nowadays. I have no idea why I just tacked that. I have never done that in my life. Pre-sewn the webbing tack to.
You ever sewn it with a canteen in it?
No, I don't think that I have. Show up to the pre-party ready to party some more. There we go. Do I want that there, or do I want, I don't know where I want that buckle yet, but I probably don't want it here because it's going to click on more things than if it's here. However, there it is. We will probably add some D-rings here so that depending how you mount this or set this on a belt, you can tie into that, since that is going to be one of the heavier points on the belt. If that's where you put this, then you can tie your suspenders into this. So grommet in the bottom, which is not there. Decide what we're going to put on the top, and D-rings, but there is a 2-quart.
I built this thing from the bottom.